Hello guys, you guys are probably seeing this from the website I made. This is going to be a little bit of a long video, so if you want you can go back to the website, or you can stay and keep watching. But if you go back to the website, how would you learn anything about from this website or what it's about? So, what it's about, let me switch. Okay, what it's about how aerodynamics work. No, not that one. How physics and aerodynamics in aviation history works. So, yes, I have a plane. Yes, I'm a huge plane fan. I know everything about planes, so that's why I'm making this website. Also, I know how to fly a plane. Yeah. Anyways, so when you take off, please do not do a tail strike like this. Don't take off like this. That's called a tail strike. You're gonna need to get your plane repaired, and that we'll get to it in a couple of minutes. But yes, my brother did break the plane, so I had to hot glue it with a hot glue gun. And that's when they took off like that. They hit their winglet right here, and then they had to tilt back. They hit the winglet again. So it was like this. They were trying to turn because it was so foggy and they saw a light. And you know what that light was? Let's pretend. Oh, I don't have it. Wait, I'll be back. Couldn't find anything. And yeah. So this is Pan Am. Refueling on the middle of the runway. Guess what happened? Kaboom. They lost their engine first. Pan Am lost its wings. Both. Because And then KLM lost one wing. And then, boom, bop. Let's back up settings. Who cares? Anyways, boom, 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 bob, bam, bop, bop, boom. And they were on fire. They're not the only one. Pan Am was also on fire. By the way, now, talking a bit from earlier about why you shouldn't take off from or you should also not land with a tail strike, because after 8 years, you might know this one, after 8 years, it was repaired. And it was back in business. It was a 747 Japan Airlines. Yeah, and if you don't know it, how do you not know it? If you're a big plane fan but you don't know it, you're not a big plane fan. Every single plane fan knows that this is Japan Airlines 1, 2, 3. They took off. And then they took off. They ran out of fuel, so they came back. Oh no! The wing broke off. The tail broke off. Now imagine. No, but we'll get to later how this is good. But what I mean by later, I mean like right now. But it's good because of this. They lost their tail. Not this. For me, right. For you, right. I don't know, but for me, it's right and left. Yeah. So, the left wing. Yeah. The left tail. This is the main stabilizer tail. Anyways, they had to turn back. They were turning back, but it's because they lost their tail and ran out of fuel. So, I'm gonna use. Jesus! I just found some clothes. It was right there before I made this video, and I was gonna use it for the mountain. So because of that mountain, and then they made it up. Then boom, they lost their tail. Okay, now they're in a bigger mountain, and they were way below. And then they pulled up, down for 30 minutes until they ran out of fuel. They were stalling, and then boom, they died. Because physics, when you run out of fuel, you can't move the object. Fuel is like movement, so you can't move. So, of course, they fell. They turn, yeah, you can turn, but you cannot go down or up automatically. They ran out of fuel, and then boom. Back to that. The people were not found until the next day because everyone died. Helicopters thought, oh, no one would survive that. That's impossible to survive. 4 people survived that. 2 people died from being hanged by a tree, and there was a fire near the tree. Yeah, so they burned to death. And the other 2, they actually survived. So 2 days they had to survive the crash night. Then the next day, the morning, so basically 12 hours. So yeah, they survived 12 hours. And then yeah, helicopters came. They saw people shouting and screaming, what they heard. And then they saw people walking here, and they actually saw. And then they're like, oh, let me rescue them. They were rescued. They're still alive to this day. Well, I don't know which time day you're watching this, but it is 8/16/2026. So they were alive today. Now here's the next one with the tail. Yep, there's a bunch of crashes that happen with the tail. So it was a DC-10. 2 engines right here, 1 engine right here on the main stabilizer. Whatever I said last time, it is that. I'm stuttering. Anyways, so DC-10, they took off. Hijacker, first crash that I'm talking about that had a hijacker. By the way, Japan Airlines 123 was a human error. Pan Am and KLM airport incident was also human error. ATC with the airport and repairs with Japan. Anyways, so DC-10 hijacker, and so they took off. The hijacker went inside the cockpit. Well, he shut the door down. He took the pilot out. He threw the pilot all the way in the back and the other, and he was like, and then the pilot came back. He eventually fought him. Wait, I'm trying to fix this. Well, he fought him. The hijacker died. Yeah, because they were fighting, and then meanwhile since they were throwing each other, this is what was happening. They threw each other, and it actually fell out behind the table. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, when that happened, yeah, this is just the glue from the hot cooking. It doesn't look like this. was completely taken off, but boom, and then they made it. They made it, and then they were high enough that they began to lose fuel. But they were getting more speed. They could have gotten higher, but no, they couldn't because the tail was taken off. So either way, they would still die like that. But anyways, yeah, they boom, boom. So look, boom, 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 pop, pam, pop. Anyways, Air Mexico. Pretend there is a tail. There's two planes. I'm not using my finger because finger. It's way smaller than my finger, and the plane that was involved was, yeah. By the way, human error with the pilot and the radar when it was made. So there was a Cessna flying. There was an Air Mexico, not this one. It was like a red one. And then Cessna was right here flying. And then Air Mexico. And it took off its winglet and its tail. The Cessna falls, dies. Yeah. And then Air Mexico. Boom, bam, pop. They fell like boom. Yep. I guess that's all I have for right now. Let me think of more that I can do with this plane. Air National. It's a 747 cargo edition. Not passenger. It is cargo. Passenger, goodbye. Nobody need it. So, yep, they took off like this. They took off too early. So this is the runway. They took off at this like that. Yep, that idea. Because after that, they began to lose speed and crashed into the airport. Yeah, and I guess that's all I have for this video because I need to publish it to my website and I need the website right now because I need to do the website for fun. Let me just fix this. Anyways, I am a huge plane fan. My YouTube is ChitoSanYT. Goodbye, and I'm out. Peace. But oh, wait. There's a video right next to me, right here. That is going to be just on my website if you just want to watch something. So yeah. Thank you for actually staying here and watching it. And yeah, on my website there's a video right next to me. But yeah, thank you for watching and I don't know. Yeah. And if you didn't watch this whole video, you wouldn't know why it's there. It's just for entertainment for you guys. I need to put something right there. Anyways, I'm out. Peace. I'm out. Peace.